Hey, what's up, everybody? So, you may be wondering who I have with me. Introduce yourself, bro.
My name is RYLEN Salinas. I'm a sophomore, and I'm happy to be here.
That's what's up, man. Now, tell the people your name, date of birth, and your social security number.
Okay. My name is RYLEN. My date of birth is July 1st, 1954, and my social security number is 1234567
Nice. That's crazy. That's been the same social security number as everybody on the podcast. But you know what? We're gonna have a good time. I hope y'all enjoy. This is What the Boys Cooking podcast. So let's get right into it. All right. So many of you may not know Rylan, but he is starting his own brand called Double Arch.
My business, yeah.
So he has a hoodie right there, which I just realized. That's awesome, man. So tell us, man, what does Double Arch stand for? What's the message?
All right. So I'll go back a little bit. This is my third company, actually.
Third?
That's my third company.
Dang, this dude's a sophomore in his third company. Y'all need to step it up.
Yeah. So basically, my first company is called Wristband, right? And so we sold custom wristbands. And so I kind of, I think I was in 8th grade when I started it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I kind of always had like a desire for business and a desire to kind of run my own thing. Right. And so I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do something, And so I saw everybody at school wearing like wristbands, right? Like, the wristbands people wear, like the silicone ones. Yeah. And so I was like, what if I had a thing where you can make your own? And, you could put like a name on it or like, something you want, a message you want, and like you can order it. And so I got with a friend, and I created a business where we could sell custom wristbands. And so, I've set up a website. I learned all about it, like how to do all that stuff, and I really enjoyed it.
And how, if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you started this?
Oh, okay. So I launched it on January 4th, and my birthday's January 3rd. Even though I said July 1st, my actual birthday is January 3rd. So it was the day after my birthday. I just turned, I want to say 15.
15, man. 15, bro. That's awesome, brother. I can tell you're going to be a good entrepreneur.
Thank you. I
successful,
appreciate that.
Bro. So this is your third company. So you got custom wristbands. You got Double Arch. What was the second company you started?
Okay. So in between that, so I told you I started with someone, right?
Yes.
I started it with my friend, and he's a great guy. But what I kind of noticed was, and respect, if you're watching this podcast, respect to you. I was doing a lot of the work, right? And I think it's because I really enjoyed it, and I was very passionate about it. And because for me, it wasn't just about like the money, like making the money, or so what price was something else. Wristbands, like $2 wristbands, is not crazy. But I basically, I was like, well, I'm doing so much work, and I talked to him, and I was like, well, what if I were to buy you out? And so I created a contract, everything official, looked all nice, and we both signed it. And so I bought him out for a certain price, and I was able to take the whole company, right? And so then I kind of rebranded it, gave it a different look, and it's called Laser Done.
Laser Done?
Laser Done. And so
is it still up?
No, so
I was gonna order a custom What the Boys Cooking wristband, bro.
No,
you just crushed my dreams.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can work something out.
All right, okay.
Yeah, we can work something out. But so it was basically like an extension. It was like we sold custom wristbands, but we sold other things. Like we sold, like my goal was to have like custom hoodies like this. Like you could have your own custom thing right here. Now we have like custom cutting boards. It's different ideas of something like a place where you could go to customize things. That's kind of my idea. And so I kind of started with that, and I learned a lot. I don't know if you've seen the Instagram page, but there's a lot of funny videos me and my friends recorded about like just trying to promote the product. Yeah. And so that's I had a great time doing that, and I noticed throughout all these businesses, I'm constantly learning through these businesses. Right. And so I just enjoy it a lot. And then now I'm at Double Arch, and so it's kind of a newer company, right? And I want to keep expanding. So like the first one was just wristbands. Then I tried to do a bigger, more like just custom general. And now I'm trying to kind of get into food.
Okay. Oh, food.
Food. So let me go to say this. So right now what Double Arch is, it's if you know what an LLC is.
Yes.
It's a limited liability company. And so right now I set up. I legally set up to form an LLC because if I want to get into food or I want to do anything, if you have an LLC, you can actually write off, like you don't have to pay taxes on $5,000 for startup costs.
Okay.
So let's say like I needed, I don't know, for food I needed like an oven. It cost $800. I can, at the end of the day, write that off. And I don't have to pay taxes on it because it's for my business.
Oh,
and so
yeah, listen up. Y'all are getting free game right here, okay? So go just one more time for the people in the back. What does the LLC do? How does it benefit you? And how did you start?
Okay. So
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just very interested.
No, you're good. So an LLC is a limited liability company. It's a official government entity, and in the state we live in Texas, right? Mm-hmm. And it varies from state, but for our state Texas, it costs $300 to form one. Okay. And so what it gives you one of the most important things is liability protection.
Right.
So let's say, okay, I have this food business, right? And somebody gets sick, right? Somebody gets sick and dies. Whoa. And the people, the parents of, let's say it was like a kid, yeah. The parents of the child like sue me, and I'm like, well, I didn't mean to, right? They can only take what the business has in like assets. Okay. So like if I had an oven and I had like a stove, they can only take that and they can like sell that. Like why sue me? I'm not held liable. The company is. Okay. So that's one of the things it gives you. And of course, I mean, there's legal things. There's things called piercing the corporate veil, which is like you can't like do something with your company and then like it obviously be you and like with malicious intent, So and then of course you get the writing off and with startup costs, and you can write off like if I needed to travel somewhere for my business later on, I can actually write that off as well. I don't have to pay taxes on a portion of that. Mm-hmm. And so. That's what I've been learning. I've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts, a lot of books about all this stuff. So when I learned it, I made it. And so now I'm just kind of developing a product. And so my idea, okay, is, when you buy something at like, the grocery store and you look at the back and you can see all like the calories, fats, carbs, protein, nutrients. Okay. And then if you look at the bottom, it says ingredients. Yes. And have you ever actually like looked at what the ingredients are? Yes. And you see like all this stuff you cannot pronounce. Yes. And you're like, what the heck is xanthan gum? You're like, what the heck? And like, why am I ingesting it if I can't even pronounce it? And it's obviously like biologically made in the lab. So my idea is to create products that are centered around health. That you can look at the back and you can know just based off of looking at the brand that like this is healthy for you. So you want to create food for the people. You don't want it just to be made in the lab. You want to create food for the people that is healthy for the people. Well, I mean, not like made in the lab, but like doesn't have all the things added to like preserve it or like all the things that are unnecessary. The things that you can't pronounce that could be beneficial or detrimental to you. Yes, or like the dyes. Like this is like red 40 or like they're finding out like more and more of those are like carcinogens. Exactly. So like they literally cause cancer. I know somebody who is a good friend, and she is originally from South Africa. Then she moved to London. Then she moved here. She was telling me, I make my own things and I order everything from London or from HEB. Mm-hmm. I said, well, why is that? And she was telling me because some of the stuff a lot of the stuff that in the U.S., for example, Pop-Tarts, a lot of that stuff is banned in London or in South Africa because of how much stuff it has. Because the U.S. is probably one of the most unhealthy, countries food-wise on the planet. Yeah. So a lot of the U.S. products are banned in other countries. Yeah, well, it's because the U.S. is all about like how cheap can we get it and how quickly can we produce it and how bulk and all that stuff to try to get the prices lower. Mm-hmm. Countries like Italy and other places in Europe, they literally can't. Like I was looking into it. Like the dyes, they can't have dyes, or they can have these things. That's why like M&Ms, like there's M&Ms in Europe, but they're naturally colored. So like if you look at the colors, they're actually slightly off, and they're not as like appealing because they're not as like vibrant, but they're natural, and because they legally cannot have the European Union. I think it's the European Union actually bans you adding dyes. See, that'd be beneficial for the U.S., but at the same time, like other countries don't have what the U.S. has law-wise. I guess I don't know a lot about it, granted, but
I know for a fact that other laws are more strict, not only in their food but also in their other like policies and stuff. Where the U.S. is kind of like free reign, all dang near, free reign. So I was just that's cool, man. But so just to recap, first your name is RYLEN Salinas. First thing you did was launch like a little custom bracelet making company. Did that have a name? Or?
It was Wristbench.
Wristbench.
So it was kind of, I combined wristband and workbench to create Wristbench.
Wristbench.
And I saw that the name was not taken. The domain was available, so I went ahead and I named it that and took it.
Okay. And then so you got Wristbench. You hopped on Shark Tank. Mark Cuban invested. I'm just playing. No, but so you had Wristbench.
I wish.
Right?
I wish.
You wish. And then right after that, you went to Laser Done, which is other custom things, like more of a general, hey, come here if you want to order something custom. Okay. Right after that, you're at Double Arch, which is the hoodie you're wearing right now. So forgive me for asking this again, but what's the purpose of Double Arch? Like, why do you think the world needs a double arch? Why
Okay.
What's the message?
Okay.
Not to get too deep. But
well, okay. So for right now, I mean, the idea was for at least for Double Arch, because again, I'm still kind of developing a real product, and I wanted to get the name. I want to get all the legal stuff out there, so when I have that idea, I can fully go at it and pursue it. But the idea was kind of to create like a brand, like Hershey.
Okay.
Like how Hershey owns Reese's. Hershey owns, they own other things. It was to kind of create a brand where I can put all my ventures in. Right. So I can have that liability and I can have all the benefits that come with having that. And so it's a name, a general name for like all the things that I want to do. So like, let's say the food thing goes well, but then I want to start something else. I have a new idea and I think it's just going to be really good and I want to pursue it, and I can do it under that name. I can do it because, and so instead of forming a new LLC, right, at least where I'm at right now, it costs another $300. So there's a thing, legally it's called a doing business as, DBA, or it's called a associated name. And basically it allows you to operate a business under a different name under the same entity. Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, like just kind of form it. And so naturally I like to promote things and like, you should check out Double Arch, even though I don't have a product yet. But just kind of I'm just getting the name out there while I'm figuring out what I'm going to do.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome for you. So Double Arch, go follow on Instagram. I'll pop his tag up some around here somewhere, probably over here. And so yeah, guys, please tune in. RYLEN Salinas, upcoming entrepreneur. Okay. One like a little bit of a deeper question.
Okay.
How do you want to impact the world with Double Arch? How do you? It's kind of this. It's almost the same thing. What's the message? But like, how do you want to leave your mark?
Okay.
What do you want people to remember Double Arch and RYLEN Salinas as?
In terms of Double Arch and RYLEN Salinas are two totally different things. But for Double Arch, I want to create like really just quality products. Like, nothing cheap. I want to be known as like the more quality. And I think, kind of like what I was saying with the food, like that's gonna be beneficial. Like that's not just gonna be like, I get money, or I get a successful business. I'm also helping other people. Right. And so I kind of want to center my business around that. And that's the idea. I kind of want to be known as like the quality. Like you look at it and you're like, I know that they're not gonna cheap out. And reliable, yes. So and then as for me, I just want to be known as, obviously like a servant of God. I want to be known, I think, and one of the reasons why I want to go into business, like another big reason, is because I think that there's a big place of influence for God. I think that, if Elon Musk, like tomorrow, started like saying, like God's the way, like, and started really like pursuing that would be huge, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a big audience and opportunity for Christian values in business. Right. And so that's one of the things. And the Bible talks a lot about like, letting your light shine for God. So just having like just being smiling or having joy and because you know who you are in Christ. People look at that and they'll be like, why are you like that? Like, why are you so happy and why are you so joyous even at your lowest points? And you can be like, well, because I have God and, my worth, my values in Christ. Right. And so, and not in these earthly things. And so, That's kind of like when I don't even remember that. So people look at me and be like, that was serving to God. That was, he worked hard in everything he did. He, went full force, and he believed in God, and did it all with a Christ-centered view.
That's awesome, man. I love that, man. That's awesome. Another thing, so for the audience, RYLEN does BJJ. Okay, we forgot to introduce that. He does BJJ. So if he wanted to, he could absolutely destroy you. Okay, he could beat you up.
Granted, I've only been doing it for like 8 months, but
he says that now. But before the podcast, he was saying anybody in the audience he would take any day, anytime, anywhere. Mike Tyson, Alex.
I'm coming for you, Mike Tyson.
He said it, not me. So okay. Is BJJ useful in a street fight? I don't know if you've ever been in a fight, like a real fight, but would you say it is?
I kind of have. In a street, I want to say, describe the street fight. Like how is it entering?
So literally, you're just somewhere, right? You're at a function. And some dude just you accidentally step on a dude's shoes, and he's like, "No, let's take it outside," right? So y'all both go outside, and y'all are just standing there, ready to throw down. Is BJJ useful? You can either answer yes or no, or you can answer on a 1 to 10 scale. 10 being like, I'm about to, destroy this dude. 1 being like, I'm gonna get clapped right now.
Okay. I'd say totally it's useful. So I don't know if you've ever seen do you really know what BJJ is, or like?
I'm gonna be honest. I've only seen clips of it, and I've only heard people make fun of it. So why don't you enlighten me?
I'll assign some justice for BJJ.
Enlighten the audience on BJJ.
So first of all, BJJ is from Brazil. It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it's a lot of it's like a competition. So there's a lot of competitions. It's very competitive. There's medals. And a lot of competitions are held. But it is also it's very useful. So the whole idea is you want to submit your opponent. It's not like I'm going to knock you out and I'm going to, until you're bloody. It's like, how can I get you to tap out without me having to throw hands at all? So I think that it is extremely useful if that's kind of what you want to do. Like, you just want to take him out and you want him to submit to you.
Right.
But
submit to me, boy. That's what you need to tell him when he's in the middle of a chokehold. You got to be like, you're gonna tap.
Oh, yeah. That's the best moment. That's a moment every BJJ person wishes for. When you're in that moment, you got him in a chokehold and he's tapping. It's like, you better tap.
You're buddy. No. You're gonna tap.
Yeah. Submit to me. But yeah, it's the only thing is it's mostly grappling. So it's mostly you're in you're on the floor, and how do you get to the dominant position and to take this guy down? Right. And so, how do you work your way there? But there's not a big, there's not a huge emphasis on.
I just wanted to get you your phone. Your dad texted.
You're good. Oh, thank you. He said. So the only thing BJJ does not emphasize a lot is how to get somebody down. It's a lot of how do I, when I'm already down, get to the dominant position, but it's not a lot of when I'm standing up, how do I get this guy down? Okay. So if you're in a street fight and this guy's intent on punching you, you may not, it's different when the guy's punch, but if he doesn't want to hurt you, he just wants to fight it out without punching, then you'd probably win. And just knowing it in general is probably a good thing. It's better to know it than to not know it.
Yeah.
But I think if you can have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and know Judo and BJJ kind of go hand in hand. Okay. Because Judo's how to take somebody down. When you're standing up, how to you win by just taking somebody down to the ground. If you can know both of those and be really good at those, you can take down anybody and submit them.
Right. My only bicker, and not to disprove your point, my only bicker with that is that, I guess my only problem with that is if you know BJJ and Judo and you're able to take somebody to the ground and submit them, in a street fight, what's the chances of them having a knife and just being what's the chances of their friend coming up behind you while you're on the ground and just kicking the mess out of you, So that's my only, I guess, kind of problem with that, is that when you go to the ground, you leave yourself vulnerable. So, but I see what you're saying. It's useful to know, because if you need to get out of a bind, or someone tackles you or something, or someone tries to take you down, it's easier to know. It's better to know.
But yeah, I mean, if some guy pulls out a knife, if some guy pulls out a knife and you don't have a knife, like you're in a bad position already. You know, or if two people come out and you're just one guy, you're already in a bad position.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think overall it's probably good to know it. It's better than not knowing it. But you know, there's not like what martial art do you think would be ideal to know in a street fight? Like if you could pick one martial art to know fully.
Martial art or any fight or any combat sport at all.
You know what? Let's do both. Like one martial art and then one combat skill. I mean, combat sport.
One martial art, I want to say, does Muay Thai? Muay Thai is combat or more martial art?
Muay Thai. I haven't done a lot of research in Muay Thai. I've heard of it, but
okay. So we'll say that I don't know if that's a martial art or not. So I'm not gonna say that is.
I would assume Muay Thai is a martial art.
Okay, let's say it is. I would say Muay Thai because you learn how to stand up, how to fight, how to kick the mess out of somebody. Because they're violent, bro. Those they throw elbows, shins, knees, everything. They learn how to weaponize their whole body, which I think is probably the most useful. And then if we're talking sport, I want to say either MMA or boxing, one of those two, because both of those you're learning how to defend and attack against somebody who knows also how to defend and attack.
Okay, so you do boxing, right?
I do.
I've seen some of your videos on Instagram.
Hyping myself up right now, guys.
How long you been doing boxing?
What's this? What is this?
It's 2025.
2025. I would say about.
What year is it?
About
check real quick.
A year. A little longer than I've been dating my girlfriend, so I would say 2 years, 2.5 years. So, but then again, that also was like a 3-month-long break, and then right after that, like I had to stop because of my goat, and I haven't gone back since just because I train. I go to the gym and then I'll train there with like the weights or something. I'm still trying to find a place with a heavy bag besides Crunch because it's packed, but we'll see. But yes, I box in 2 years.
So so okay, you said that you sold your goat already, like it's done. Are you gonna do another one?
Another goat?
Yeah.
I did a goat for 4 years straight. So after that.
And that was that one goat you sold?
No. So I had a new goat every year.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, just tuning in, I do ask the FFA in Texas, and basically you take a farm animal, land animal, whatever, and you raise them for about 6 to 8 months, and then you sell them at auction, right? Once you sell them, granted you place. The best way I can describe it to you, because people get confused, how does the judge determine who plays it? It's like a bodybuilding competition for animals.
For goat?
Yeah, for animals.
I've seen, we had Ag Day at my school.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know Deacon.
Oh, Stagner, yeah, dude.
Okay, Deacon, yeah, he was showing me his goats. Dude, those goats are big. I do not want to see those goats. Those goats are big. And he was telling me, like that's not even my best one. Like, because he had like 4. He was telling me
his whole family does it. His sister, his friends, a lot of people do.
Shout out to Deacon.
Shout out Deacon, bro. But no beef.
Of course not. Deacon's a cool guy.
Who wins? No. I'm talking between me and you.
Oh, okay.
No beef between us. You're a cool guy.
Thank you.
What wins in a street fight? BJJ or boxing?
Oh, okay.
I want you to give your general opinion, then I'll give mine.
Okay, I say
your genuine opinion.
Definitely boxing.
Why do you say that?
Because like the guy just, he just punches you and you're out. You have to BJJ, you have to get the guy down on the ground. And so as long as the boxing guy can get a good punch in at the start, because to get someone down, you have to get in the right position. You have to actually take him down properly. You're kind of screwed. Unless the guy willingly goes down.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you think?
I would pick boxing 9 times out of 10, just because most boxers know how to actually throw a punch. BJJ in the street fight is pretty good, because most guys just swing and then you can just wait, and then get in close, take them down. Mm-hmm. But for boxing, those guys know how to fight inside and outside, and mid distance. So you're trying to get in close to him, he's just gonna hit you with jabs and cross, and by the time you even get close to him, you're gonna be like, I don't even want to fight anymore. This guy pieced me up 3 times already. So it's I think boxing will probably be more useful in the street, Mm-hmm. But I'm not by no means saying any martial art is better than the other. I'm just saying that some are more useful in certain situations.
Yeah. Well, one of the things with weight also matters. So when you're in a street fight, if the guy is way bigger than you, then you might have a hard time moving him around.
Exactly. Yeah. But As long as you can keep your distance in a street, depending on whatever martial art. As long as you can keep your distance or control the space, then you should be good. You have to learn to control the space. But another thing I wanted to ask is, so I've seen that you've invested. Okay, you're a heavy investor.
Yeah.
So what kind of got you started into your investing journey?
All right. So I want to say I started investing in going into 8th grade. So this is like our year 3, coming up on year 3. And I got into investing because I think I was just interested in like, stocks, kind of like business. Business and stocks kind of go hand in hand, because the stock is, you're essentially investing in a business. So I was kind of just interested in it, and I started playing this game. It's called Investopedia Simulator. And it's like, it mimics the real world, like the current market, but you have fake money. So like you start off with like $100,000, and you can see how much that has grown. And you can, you can take these big risks, and if it doesn't work out, you don't lose anything. And so I kind of played around with that, and I kind of liked it. And I also, my parents are, or at least my dad is very like, business and like financially like literate, and he supports that. And so that kind of also motivated me to get into it. And so when I started really liking it, I was like, I want to get into this. Well, my dad was like, well, if you want to get into it, I'm not going to help you. Like, you have to, this is your money, right? And since I'm a minor, he has to like sign a document saying like, that my son has control over it. But
like opening an account for you.
Yeah, well, like basically he owns it, but I can control it. And
like a youth account.
Yeah. There's a special name for it, but I forgot what it is. But basically, so I saved up for I think it was like maybe like 2 years, because I kind of knew I wanted to get into it, and I had some money beforehand. So I saved up all the Christmases. Everybody's like, I got the new Xbox, I got the new PlayStation or whatever, and I was like, I got money for stocks that I'm hopefully I'll have enough soon. And so eventually I was able to save up $1,000. Just every chance I could get any sort of money, I would like keep it, and I was able to start open an account, because that was the minimum amount. And so throughout that time, I had many opportunities. And one of the biggest things I'm very thankful for about being doing stocks, especially at a young age, is I learned so much. And so like later on in life, when I'm playing with bigger money, it's like I already learned that when I was a kid. Like I already kind of knew that. And so throughout my stock journey, I was able to see like different opportunities. So like my claim to fame, one of the things I talk about to my friends a lot was it was Meta. So the company Meta, right?
Yes.
They own Instagram, they own WhatsApp, Facebook, and I thought they were a really good company, and they were going down at the time. So I bought in with my broker, and so I was already in at this time, and I remember so vividly. I was in English class taking a test, right? And I have my Apple Watch on, and I get like stock notifications about like big events in the stock market.
Right.
And I remember I was taking the test, and I look down, and I get a little ring from my watch, and I look and I see it, and it says Meta is at its 52-week low at 87. And I remember feeling like this huge, like, I don't want to say conviction, but almost like a gut feeling like I need to invest. Like this is it. Like it's not gonna go any lower. Like this is so like this is it.
This is the point.
This is the point. Like this is it's gonna be a good investment no matter what.
Right.
And so I remember I went home, and I texted my broker, which is a great guy.
Love my broker, bro. Dang, ahead of me.
Thank you. You do stocks?
I do, yeah.
You do? Awesome. We'll talk about that, but let me kind of finish.
Yeah, no, finish, bro. Finish.
So I remember I got back and I texted my broker like, hey, I literally said Meta's at 87. I think I should invest. And he was like, well, you already have money in it, and you should keep diversified, right? And I remember I was like, oh well, I think it's just a good opportunity, but okay, I trust you, right? Now no one knows if it's gonna keep going down or going up. No one knows, but I had a very strong feeling it was going to go up. You want to know what Meta's out right now? Let's look. Current day. Let me look at my phone.
Okay, what was the first number before you read this? What was the first?
It was at $87.
$87.
$87.
Okay.
Meta right now.
He invested. It was at $87. Let's see.
I know. I didn't invest. I invested before that, because I was already in it. So my
Okay.
broker told me to diversify, and we ended up never doing it because he was like, I was like, okay, I'll trust your decision. Right now, it peaked recently at 609, and now it is currently at $586 flat.
Went from 87 to 500 and what?
86.
And $86, ladies and gentlemen. That is an investor right there. That is one successful investment, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. So
good job, man.
So I ended up not doing that low, but I was already in it. So I bought it, I think, at like 117 beforehand, and then I sold, I want to say maybe like close to a year ago at like close to $400 because it was doing really well at the time. And so, but through that, I learned that like when you really believe in something, don't you shouldn't doubt yourself. You just go for it. And so, and I've kind of realized love my broker, but you know my broker's like, you know, he's older, and so a stock doing bad for him could literally mean like food for his kids, right? Or for me, I can actually leverage the fact that I'm young and I don't have like a family to feed or like, you know, bills to pay, and so I can leverage the fact and take bigger risks. Right. It might do bad, but it might do extremely well. And so that's kind of what I've been doing more. I did another recent one. It was Roblox. I bought it at 25, and that was same scenario, but I kind of like trust him. I trust myself a little bit more. It was at 25, and I remember I was like, this is like it is another too good to be true moment. I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. And so after some talking, I invested like a portion of my what I had into it. And then it went up a little bit, and I remember thinking, like, I should have put more money into it. Like, I kind of regret because I still think it's a really good company. And so I bought it again at 39, and then I sold it, and I'm very proud of myself. I sold it at $74.
Dang.
So that's like, I mean, if the ones I bought at 25, that's a 3x in return. So I quite like if I think let's say I invested, I don't know how many shares I bought, but an example, if you put like $1,000 in that, it would now be 3,000.
Yeah, so that you just 3x your money.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was kind of what I learned. Like, okay, that again, like, okay, when you really believe in something, you should go do it.
Right.
Right. And so that was another thing I learned. And I say I'm proud of myself because the day after I sold it, it tanked heavily. It went from like 74 to like below 60.
Dang.
And it's because I knew that they were going to release their numbers. And everybody thought, oh, they're going to do so good, right? And so the stocks kept going up because people were like, oh, it's going to do good. And then once it does good, it's going to jump up even more, right? Well, I was like, I think they're not going to do that good. I think that like they had an off year, like an off quarter, and they're not going to do good. So I sold the day before, and I was more happy because the day before I talked to my broker and I said, I want to sell this at this point. When it gets to this amount, well, it didn't reach that amount. It reached that amount the next day. But I didn't realize that he put it on a day only and not at all time. Okay. So like when it reached that point, I'm like, let's go. I sold it, and I remember I was like, I should probably like confirm. You know, you should always always confirm and like make sure of things. Don't like assume. Don't ever assume. And so I called him. I was like, well, did it sell? He was like, oh no, that was like a day only thing. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Can you re-put in the order and sell right now? And it sold, and then it dropped. So like if I would have just assumed, oh, it sold, let's go, and then kind of called it a day, I would have actually still been holding on to it.
Yeah, and you would have lost money instead.
I would have. Well, I mean,
overall, would have lost the money that could have been used.
Yeah, the potential money.
Potential, yeah.
So I'm very, very happy about that. And again, God has blessed me dramatically. Like all glory to God in everything I do, in every single thing I do. All glory to God. I mean, that's I would not be anywhere without God. I mean, like seriously, I can definitely see a shift, like, you know, with you know, the more I get closer to God, the more like my mind clears. I'm able to see these things and act more clearly. Like whenever I don't know, I don't know if you get this, but like, do you read your Bible every day?
Of course.
Of course. Sometimes when I don't read my Bible every day, I can tell, you know, like I can tell like something's off. Like I'm not acting like, you know, as clean as I used to. Yeah, and I remember, and then I get back in the Bible, and then everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, really, like, it's the bread of life.
It is. And that's why the Lord says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by the bread of the Holy Word. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on that, because that might be the wrong saying, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. I know it's my own, you know, investing journey. You know, again, I hope everybody, you know, gets some free game from this. But in my own investing journey.
Yeah, so tell me a little about your investing.
started investing when I was about 15, and then put $200 in, and I was like, all right, bet, you know what, let's do this. And so I started off investing in some big name company. I started investing because I researched who Warren Buffett was, one of the most successful investors. I started going off of his, and I noticed that Wells Fargo was at $37, and it went down to like 25, and I was like, let's buy it, let's do this. So I put one share in, just $25, right? And then it would go up, and then I sold it at $40.
Nice, dude.
So
That's awesome.
got 2x my money, and then I was like, okay, let's play it safe. Let's sell that. Let me move on to it. And advice: don't do this. Okay, if you don't do what I did. I had to learn the hard way. Don't get one share, back out, and then go into it. Like, don't do that. You want to have multiple things. Diversify your portfolio. So say you have $200, put 25 here, 25 here, 25 here, 50 here maybe, and then 50 here. But you know what I'm saying. So obviously that math does not add up. But like you get what I'm trying to say. So what I did was I took the money that I had in Wells Fargo, and I put it into some sort of put it into Chevron.
Okay, how long was that when you bought it into when you sold it?
Oh, it was like 3 months. Like I didn't give it time at all.
Not. I mean, that's a good gain for 3 months.
I don't want to. Actually, I take that back. I don't want to say 3 months. I want to say it was at least 5 months, and it wasn't. I didn't 2x my money. I don't think. I think that happened later. But I did get more. Like I think it was at 35 when I sold. I bought it at 25, so I got like $10 more.
That's still really good, man.
Still good, you know. But again, investing is a long game. Okay.
Of course.
Play it though. Play the long game because it's worth it in the end.
It's hard though. Sometimes you get like tempted. Like,
you'll
sell.
Oh yeah. You'll want to sell. You'll want to buy. But it's all about that's your money. It's all about the risk you're willing to take. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be willing to take a lot of risk. So.
And obviously, with more risk is more reward.
Right. I started off with $150. Put an extra $50 in. Right. So that's $200. Had $200. Right now I'm at $325 because I invested in Tesla, Frost. I wish I kept my shares in Wells Fargo though. I bought it at like 25, 35, between 25 and 35, right? Bought it somewhere around there if I remember correctly. And right now it's at like 50, 60. So I wish I kept my shares in, but still I'm making money, and that's okay with me. But a lot of the stuff, it fluctuates. It goes up and down. So buy it when it goes down, when it's at its low, and then when it starts going up. If you feel like it, sell it. If you're like, I want to wait this out, then wait it out. But I suggest, what I do is I invest in the safest stocks, because the ones that cost a lot, because those are probably the safest.
Yeah.
And you invest right, and then you leave it alone for like 2 weeks. Check back in on it, and you're like, oh shoot, I made some money. Okay, leave it alone again for like a month. Check back in. I'm like, oh, I lost money here, but I gained money here. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to take more risk and are okay with it, then you could always buy the like $1 to $15 stocks, because those fluctuate a lot.
But if they go up like by $1, you especially buy a lot of shares.
Oh my gosh, dude! You put let's say you put $100 in, right, of a $1 stock, and that goes to $5. Dude, you just made $500. You just made $400.
Yeah.
So none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just telling you from our personal experience. So don't take this.
We're just sharing our experience.
Yes. Hopefully, Rylan will be on the podcast again. Comment below, and share. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all's time. It's already ends so abruptly. But yeah, God bless and peace out, Girl Scouts.